I'm Andrew Harris with Confluence Outfitters. I'm out here in a drift boat fishing on the Lower Sac today, and I want to talk a little bit about drift boat fishing. We get a lot of calls where people are wondering, okay, this Lower Sac drift boat fishing looks super fun, see people catching lots of nice fish, but what if I've never been fly fishing before? Is this trip going to work for me if I'm new to fly fishing? And the answer is yes. This is a great trip as an intro to fly fishing. Literally, you can catch wild fish on these trips even though you've never picked up a fly rod before. So I'm going to go through some of the just basics of this drift boat fishing just to show you how this is very doable for beginners. Doesn't mean it's not fun if you've fished a ton, but this is a great beginner trip. So I've got my fly rod, floating line. We have, most of the fishing we do here is with an indicator. There's lots of different kinds of indicators. This is one of the many different kinds we use. So this is going to tell me if I'm getting a strike. So all I need to do is get this indicator to float along next to the boat, about 25 feet away. And I want it to float just like the boat is, just naturally floating down the river. So I'm going to show you some of the casting techniques we use, and you'll see that this is kind of a simpler casting style than what you may associate with fly fishing. But what I have below the indicator, just so you know, I have some weights, sometimes one or two little split shots, and I have usually 2 to 3 flies. And they're about, let's say, 7 feet below that indicator. So here's the casting technique. I need to get about 25 feet of line out, and it's going to be just in the boat. You'll notice that I have a great place to be stable to stand. So in terms of being safe on the river and being comfortable, I can stand like this, I can face whichever way I want to face and be stable because I have this leg brace right here. So my cast, I'm going to hold the line in my left hand, rod in my right hand, and I'm just going to start by flopping the line back and forth. So I want to kind of have a death grip with my left hand, not let the line slip out too much, and I'm just going to flop back and forth, and I'm going to let it land on each side. As I'm doing that, I can very kind of carefully let some line slip through my fingers. So I'm going to let some line slip again. You'll see my hand open up, maybe one more time. Notice I'm letting it land in the front and the back. And that's where I need to be. I'm about 25 feet away from the boat. And with this technique, if I'm your guide and you cast 50 feet, I'm actually going to tell you that is too far. It's not good to be farther than this. So 20 to 30 feet away from the boat, that's all we need to do all day long with this style of fishing. I'm going to go through that one more time here. So I'm going to strip in my line. This is how I bring my line in, just by putting it under my trigger finger and stripping it in. And now we're actually going to float with the boat, so you'll see how this works. Boat's moving the same speed as the current. I'm going to flop it, and I'm just going to do it one more time. I'm going to get it straight out there, and now I'm going to point at it. Now the current's going to do weird things to my line. And at times, I'm going to have to relocate my line a little bit so I don't drag my indicator. If my indicator goes under, I'm going to set the hook just like that. So now I'm going to strip in till I can lift my bobber off the water. I'm going to flop it, always letting it land. This is called water loading. And I'm right back where I need to be. Now maybe I'll get another bite. If my drift starts to get a little messed up, I'm going to just lift and move my line either upstream or downstream. This is called mending, so I can get a good drift. So now I'm just watching my bobber. You'll notice I'm pointing at my indicator. I'm mending downstream a little bit every now and then. And if that indicator goes under, I'm going to set the hook.